If you had $4.3 million, what would you spend it on? It's a lot of money, right? You would probably buy a nice house, a fancy car, or a bunch of designer items. But some people are really a different breed. A billion-year-old black diamond weighing 555.55 carats, known as the Enigma, was recently purchased with that price tag. The Enigma was named the world's largest cut diamond as of 2006 in the Guinness World Book of Records. This fancy, natural-colored black diamond was bought in an auction using cryptocurrency, and the man who made the purchase is none other than crypto boss Richard Hart. It's sketchy how someone is bragging about these luxurious cars on Twitter, shopping at high-end stores like Louis Vuitton, and buying a rare diamond, but are the earnings legitimate, or is it fraud? Did he squander all of his customers' money to fund all his ridiculous and extravagant spending? How did he do it? A few years ago, he claimed that the cryptocurrency HEX was designed to be, quote, up only. What's the status now? That and more in this episode of Crypto Dark Side. Richard Hart was born in the United Kingdom in 1979. He attended the University of Cambridge to earn his degree in computer science. He's married with 2 children and currently lives in Helsinki, Finland. He started his career as a software engineer for tech companies like Oracle and Microsoft. In 2014, he founded his own business, a mortgage company called iOwn. iOwn was successful and monumental to how Richard was able to generate wealth. In 2017, his interest in cryptocurrency grew and he launched his first cryptocurrency, HEX, that he claims is the first time-based proof-of-stake blockchain. HEX was launched to the public in 2019 and has been controversial since its inception. In 2021, he announced the development of Pulse Chain, a fork of Ethereum designed to be faster and more scalable. Despite being in the early stages of development, it was projected to have the potential to rival Ethereum. 2023 is a vital year for Richard. He launched PulseX, a liquidity protocol for Pulse Chain. PulseX is also a decentralized exchange, allowing users to trade Pulse Chain without needing a centralized exchange. On July 31, 2023, the Securities and Exchange Commission charged Richard Hart and 3 unincorporated entities that he owns, HEX, Pulse Chain, and PulseX. The SEC's complaint was largely due to how HEX was marketed in 2018 as the first high-yield blockchain certificate of deposit. HEX tokens were primed as investments designed to make people rich. There was a lot of public excitement regarding the gains of HEX. London taxis were advertising that HEX's price went up 11,500% in 129 days. HEX tokens were selling left and right, accumulating over $2.3 million of Ethereum. For the past 4 years, there have been warnings from crypto watchers that these projects were essentially scams, and the SEC agrees. Hart and his associates are alleged to be recycling funds. This entails receiving fees from HEX users and acts as a holding address for investor funds during the initial sale. They moved funds from the flush address to a centralized exchange and returned the money to the HEX contact address disguised as new money. Hart's aggressive marketing may have raised red flags for the SEC. When you go to the HEX portal, this is what you see: a promising prospect for earning very high yields. Hart also repeatedly marketed that the project's main goal was to design an asset that only went up in price. By now, it's easy to deduce that it's not a sustainable business model. It's not even a business model in the first place, but a scam. No amount of financial engineering will make a token with zero utility and no organic demand earn profits. The Securities and Exchange Commission filed a lawsuit against Richard Hart, the creator of HEX and Pulse Chain, for violating security laws by selling unregistered securities through HEX and Pulse Chain. The SEC argues that Hart made false and misleading statements about HEX and Pulse Chain to entice and trick investors into buying tokens. Between July 2021 and March 2022, Hart added 2 more crypto asset security offerings, each raising hundreds of millions of dollars more in crypto assets. The funds were intended to support the development of a supposed crypto asset network, Pulse Chain, and acclaimed crypto asset trading platform, PulseX. In a press release by the US SEC, Hart, HEX, Pulse Chain, and PulseX violated the registration provisions of Section 5 of the Securities Act of 1933. Eric Werner, director of the Fort Worth Regional Office, says Hart called on investors to buy crypto asset securities and offerings that he failed to register. He then defrauded those investors by spending some of their crypto assets on exorbitant luxury goods. The SEC also alleges that Hart used the proceeds from the token sales to enrich himself and his associates. Furthermore, Hart failed to register Hex and Pulsechain as securities with the SEC. Hart has denied the SEC's allegations and has vowed to fight the lawsuit to the end. Hart accused the SEC of being biased against cryptocurrency projects. The looming billion-dollar lawsuit has impacted the value of projects. Currently, they are 87% less than their all-time highs. In an article by Proto staff, this is the summarized list of how the lawsuits affected trading prices. PulseX peaked at $0.000139 in May. It's now trading at less than $0.000012, a decline of 92%. Pulsechain shows a similar story with an all-time high of $0.000278 and a current value of $0.00004352, a decline of 87%. Hex hit an all-time high of $0.55 and has crashed 99% to $0.004. MetaMask and Uniswap, two of the biggest crypto platforms, have reportedly removed support for Hex transactions on their platforms. The SEC will continue its investigation and is led by Jamie Marinaro and Derek Kleinman of the Fort Worth Regional Office, with assistance from Jamie Hausecker. The complaint seeks to penalize the involved parties, injunctive relief, disgorgement of ill-gotten gains, plus prejudgment interests, and other equitable relief. The SEC's lawsuit against Hart is a significant development in the cryptocurrency industry. The outcome of the lawsuit could have a major impact on the future of cryptocurrency regulation. High-yield investment opportunities are often coupled with unsustainable business models. One should question when someone makes big money so fast and ponder where the profits came from. The scam is similar to other ongoing SEC cases in its crackdowns against unregistered securities. Crypto Darkside is committed to enlightening you with the necessary information so you will not be one of their victims.